What up, everybody? Welcome. I'm Coach Nat from the Queer Gym. Gayest gym ever. And I'm here with like royalty from the Queer Gym. We got Riley and Ethan. So I gotta break this down from the top, y'all. So I low-key feel like the family trainer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Uh, Give us a quick introduction.
Go ahead. I'm Riley. I use he, him, or they, them pronouns, and we're from Seattle. And I've been with the Queer Gym since May 2024, I believe, when our oldest was 2 years old.
Yeah, I'm Ethan. They them. I was doing Sunday Kiki at first, got hooked after that, went away for a minute, and then came back, and now like am fully in it.
Fully in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So as a family unit, what was it like before the Queer Gym for y'all?
I think it would like three, the afternoon would come like 3 p.m. and things would kind of like crumble and fall apart. And just like it was like a rush to get to the end of the day, especially once we had our second kid, our first kid, but especially with our second kid. Um, yeah, I felt like it was like we were always trying to figure out how to get movement in, and we were always like, well, we know exercise is better, like it really helps other mental health. Let's take a family walk, but it was never consistent. So it was always just kind of like I don't know, like once or twice. Like we tried joining the YMCA and then we quit, and then we tried again. Like we just never found the right place that worked for our family.
True.
So you were like, okay, we know we got to get it together. We're trying. It's just not really consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was it that Riley, you took that first step?
I've been following you. I was following you on social media for some time, and I was like, "Ooh, I really do want to join this. Like, I'm just not sure when the right time is." And then I think there was like a discount. There was something that you had posted that I was like, "Ooh, I want to jump on this. This seems like an opportunity." And I'm just not working out consistently right now. Like I was doing my PT exercises for a little bit. Um, and then with our first kid, I was kind of primarily being the primary caregiver in our house. Like I was working part time, but also taking care of our kid. And then I knew when our second kid was coming that I was going to be staying home with that one, and so I just kind of wanted to like plant seeds before that time happened. And so then that's kind of why I joined. And yeah, after the first workout, I feel like I was like, okay, I'm staying for a while now.
I remember from our first conversation, Riley, where you're like, realistically, the only time I can get this in consistently is at 6 a.m. and I'm like not a morning person.
Yeah,
But you made that decision and like you have not stopped being a morning person since over a year ago now.
yeah, yeah. I would say I do not identify as not being a morning person anymore. I'm not excited to be awake that early, but even 5:40, since like, are you gonna work out? Get out of bed. And I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna get up. I'm so tired, but I'm like, every time I then get up and just get through the workout, I'm like so much like happier. Like I missed the one yesterday and really was bummed about it because I wanted to pick my music.
That was your birthday request. Like, I want to pick my own playlist
Yeah,
for
and then
birthday
I overslept and then we went out to dinner, so I didn't make it.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were following us on Instagram. You saw the promotion. That was probably like the 6 week thing that we did.
Yeah.
Okay, and then at what point, Ethan, were you like, I want into? Like, how did that happen?
In the beginning, I would get up in the morning with our kid and watch Riley like busting ass, working out, and I just felt myself like being like, oh, that looks like something I need to be doing, and then like, um, just kind of having some FOMO about it. Um, Also, it was really cool to watch the progression. Like one of Riley's catchphrases is not with that attitude. And so, and he even told a friend of ours who was like, I'm not going to win this kettlebell competition. And Riley looked at them and said, not with that attitude, you're not. And so then he starts this stuff about not being a morning person. And I looked at him and I said, well, not with that attitude, you're not going to be a morning person. And so then I watched him like go from that to like being motivated to get up in the morning and work out, seeing him have more energy, be more like patient, happier. And I was like, I'm very similar in that way. Like, I know there's a huge difference between when I'm moving my body and being intentional and the impact that that has on my overall well being and when I'm not. And I felt myself slowly feeling more and more jealous about like the workouts that he was doing and seeing the progress that he was making. And we both are much better together when we're both moving.
So, Riley, how does it feel to hear that you're your partner's fitness inspo?
They told me that before, and it makes me happy that we're now a household who works out, and I think our kids, are going to see that. Like our oldest is always asking to go on a walk now because I'm constantly going for walks, and we're eating healthier, and so like they're eating healthier too. Um, but you did also tell me in the mornings you would objectify me also.
Oh, that's
So
true
that
too.
felt
There's that too.
I was being in a
It's
good
true.
way.
So, why the queer gym specifically?
I know for me that I mean I've been working out in and part of this I'll name is like being a white kid from the suburbs of Chicago. Like I was exercising in gym since I was like a teenager. And even back then, it didn't feel like a comfy space. And the older I got and the more queer and, out and visibly gender diverse I've become, the less those spaces have felt like spaces for us or for me. And so to be able to be in our own house, so privacy of our own home with other people who are similarly identified or just aren't going to be like weird has been awesome. It makes a huge difference.
Also, I would say the community. It's like great having a third place to go for a gym, but it really fit with our lifestyle of being at home, being able to get up at 6 a.m. and like if the kids are melting down, like I can step away for a second and come back, but like we both know that when we're working out, like that's our time to work out. But yeah, I would say also like the community is what I found really valuable in joining the queer gym again right from that first one of just even going into the Zoom rooms and talking about something completely random in the morning just to get my brain going. Sometimes I'm not a huge fan of the questions and I'm just like, okay, I'll still answer it. And other times I'm like, oh, that's a great question. So it just kind of depends. But yeah, I would say like the community and the workouts, like they're still challenging to this day. Like there's still progressions that I can do and I'm still like I don't feel like I'm plateauing in any of the workouts. Like I still feel like I'm being challenged, even if I take like the harder progression on exercise.
So, recently, Ethan, when you came back the second time and like we're fully in it, we had a discussion around like, hey, we really want to stay here, but it's expensive for two of us. And so I want to say that thanks to that conversation, we officially now have a Power Couple membership slash discount.
Oh, sweet.
So y'all
Yeah.
inspire that. Because I was inspired from that conversation. I was like, because you had brought up another gym and you kind of going back and forth, and you're like, but we really want to make this one work. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's the fact that we can like be in our living room, so it makes it like easier for us to access. Um, it's the fact that like Riley was saying about, the community, and being able to like work out together. We really like motivate one another in that way. Like, if I know that we're both getting up in the morning, then it's like, okay, I can do this. Like, and the fact that our kids, can like play around us while we're exercising. I know sometimes I haven't done it, but I know Riley sometimes will use both of our kids as human props, which is they love it and they love it. They both get such a kick out of that.
I think budget wise, it was a great conversation because like we really wanted to make it work and fit within our budget. And like we were, I think it was like a few months that we were trying to figure out like, okay, like if I do this coaching program, like how would we then add Ethan into the mix of it? And just like all the bills that we have or whatnot, as a family. And so it just kind of like it felt like the physical health is like a priority and we wanted it to be one of our main bills and not something that was like an extracurricular thing like a streaming service. You pay for Netflix or Hulu or whatever that streaming is. To me, that's an extracurricular. If you have it in your budget, you can pay for that, but if you don't have that wiggle room, then that's not something you can afford. But for joining a gym, I feel like it was just something. It is something that you have to have in your room, but like you can find that 150 or however much it is now, like you can find that money in your budget if you take away these other things, because like that physical health and mental health, and some people consider spiritual health as well, is like it's a part of like your human being. Like you can't sit and watch TV if like you're not doing well, like if you're not here, you know what I'm trying to say.
Now, the other thing that I want to add is that you like were awesome in that. Like the fact that we were able to approach you and say like, "Hey, here's what we're thinking. Like, can we talk about this?" And the fact that you were like, "Hey, let's jump on a call. Let's figure this out cuz I want you all to be here as much as you want to be here." Like that was really big too. Yes. So thank you again for that.
Whenever somebody, because there's people that, of course we always want things at a discount, right? But like I've seen the work, I've seen you all show up consistently. I see the intentionality behind y'all's effort. And it was just something that like made sense to me. I was like, we can figure this out. I see the impact it's done for y'all individually, but also as a family unit. And that to me, like, what the fuck's the point of being in the queer gym if you can't step up in moments like that?
Right. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
you just make a good team, y'all. That's all. So in looking back, how have you changed since joining?
uh yeah, I mean, I think like my mental health has definitely improved, like even being between therapists right now, like the fact that I have a workout space. um I mean, just the mental attitude of like not going from like identifying as like not being a morning person to like now I can say I'm a morning person. I still identify as a night owl and I'm working on it. Going to bed, I have a bedtime reminder. um, but yeah, I would say like even in the last coaching call, like paying attention to like how I'm spending my time and attention and money and just little things like that, and I just feel more on top of my health in general. Not just my physical health. I've definitely gotten stronger. I can now do 10 push-ups on my toes. They may not be all perfect form by the 10th one, but they are like pretty solid. And um, I've lost 15 pounds in the coaching program, the nutrition program with this last run. So like I fit in a pair of jeans that were like tight on me last winter, and I put them on yesterday, and they were like fit great. So and just like caring more about myself as an individual and as a family, like caring more about our health and like putting that at again the top of the list and making it a priority. Yeah.
Yeah. I think modeling that too for our kids is huge. I definitely had one parent who was very athletic and like a gymnastics coach growing up, and he was very much like exercise focused. My mom, however, did was not and did not take very good care of her health. I want to continue to be able to move. I want to continue to be able to like sit down on the floor with my kids, be able to get back up be able to run around with them, you know, and that's a huge motivating factor. I I definitely noticed a difference too. Like I didn't get up this morning and work out, and I noticed how much differently I feel today versus when I was at a work conference like 2 days ago and was able, and that's another huge difference. I was able to get up and still do the workout with everybody and be in the same room with Riley, even though we were in like two different states. I still did my workout on Monday morning.
That's a huge bonus to being in the career gym also is like just the accessibility of being wherever we're at. Like when we travel to Chicago to see my parents, we can be in the basement of the house and work out together and still get our workouts in. And it's not like, oh, where are we gonna find this gym? You know, like the YMCA, you can go to different places, but it's not the same. Like I never felt like at home in
Mm.
the community at the YMCA versus like with the career gym. Like I feel like kind of that at home feeling
Mm-hmm.
in the community, and I have other communities like that, but like yeah, yeah.
As a coach, that's low key one of my favorite things about being virtual is like, when we were in person, if a client took a week off, it would really be 2 weeks because by the time they got back into the rhythm, and now I'm like, well, where are you going? Great, we're coming too. So, what would you say has been the hardest part of the journey for you?
I think for me, it's been about adjusting. So I will be 47 in next week, Monday. And so my body doesn't do what it used to. And so for me, the hardest part has been not like pushing myself, right? So like knowing that I can do these workouts at the level, at the pace that I need to, still get benefit out of it and not feel like I'm gonna puke. Cause like that, right? Because in my brain, I'm still like the early 30 something who was like biking all over Seattle, Washington and had like thighs of steel. And that's not so much the case now, but it doesn't mean that I can't do that I can't move, that I can't exercise. I just also like have to remember that like I don't need to feel like I'm gonna vomit if I, like in order to do the thing.
One thing that's helped me with that is changing the language of like, like remembering that I'm older now, right? It's like it helped me to switch that language to saying like I'm honoring where I'm at now
Yeah.
versus like, oh, remember you're not there anymore. It's more like I'm honoring where I'm at today. And that
I love
little positive spin there was like, because I felt that this morning in CrossFit where I was like, I was the last one to finish. That used to not be me ever, but I'm here. I'm doing the damn thing.
yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, that's good for you for like moving past that and embracing that. Because yeah, you don't have to puke to like get benefits from it. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I would say the hardest was kind of when I first started and along the way is like when I get an injury. So I was like at a point, I think it was like a few months in that I like started doing push-ups on my knees, and then I had progressed to my shoulder or doing it on my toes, but I was doing them wrong where I was like hiking my shoulders up. Um, and then so then like I started getting like my shoulder started hurting, and it was a flare up of a past injury.
Mm.
Um, but just anytime like an injury happens, it just feels like then I'm not gonna be able to do where I physically am, and I like want to push myself, and so like I'm working through like a meniscus injury right now in my knee, and so I can't do a deep squat, but like I still can do a squat to a 90 degree, and I can still lunge and I can still do the activity, but it just means like modifying some of the exercises, and that to me always feels hard because I like want to do the hardest part, like the hardest exercise and the most advanced because I want to get to like to being strong. And then I would say a second answer is when Ethan and I work out together, it's sometimes hard not to be competitive. And so like there was one last week that we were doing and I was getting like really jealous of how fast they were going. And I was like, there's no way you beat me. I am stronger than you. I've been doing this for a year and a half. Like, there's no way you're doing this 4 times and I'm only doing it three. And I was like getting mad and I was like, you're doing it wrong. And then afterwards, I was like, okay, that was not the best approach. But you were like not doing the positioning right, and I was concerned about your back.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it's me being like, okay, Ethan's over there, and like I'm over here, and I think that's always been an issue, like doing a class somewhere else is like getting competitive with somebody, and that's I know something you and Coach Taylor say is like you're not competing against anyone, you're just competing against yourself. And I need to remember that like I am taking the harder progressions and Ethan's taking like the modified versions to start. And so like they're going through it much faster versus like I'm slower because I'm at a different pace, you know. But yeah, that I found like to be a challenge recently that I'm currently working through.
Just staying in your lane, Riley.
Staying in my lane. Yep.
So, what would y'all title your transformation story thus far?
Our relationship is called Fry, and we have seahorses, wedding rings as our like wedding bands.
Cool.
So that's why I was saying like Fry to the max because you see a baby seahorse getting stronger, just like whipping out guns or something like that.
Fry to the max.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Fry is
Is
the
a baby
baby
seahorse.
and the males carry the babies in the
Yeah, fry
seahorse.
to the max.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's kind
Yeah,
of like that whole trans line thing.
Yeah.
yeah. I love that one. Good
Yeah.
one. Okay. So if you could send a message back to old you, what would the message be?
How old? Like how old are we talking?
Before you did
How far back?
Before, how far back are we? Um, I would say just do it. Just 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 do it. Like just join the queer gym and just do it. Like because I feel like I for a while was just kind of like following you on Instagram and just kind of like biding my time, but at like inside I was like really wanting to do it and I would say just get on it and do it. Like you won't regret it. Um now so there's never gonna be a good time to start.
I think this is something that we often talk about together, and that's like not putting other people first, right? And that's something that I often have to circle back to because initially, when Riley joined, I very much was like, yes, you do this, and you like, and I have no regrets about that. And at the same time, like, I wish it was something that we could have started out together. Um, but I was like, no, I'll take care of, kid and do that because I want you to do this. So I think that's something that I often struggle with is like just not accommodating other people. Yeah.
you, boo. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I really do consider y'all like the royal family of the queer gym because I've literally seen your family grow. I've seen you all individually grow. Yeah, 100%.
You
100%.
see our kids grow too, like
Yeah.
my little 2-year-old is now
Yeah.
3 and
Yeah. That's
baby's like crawling and walking around, not walking.
Oh
I
my.
always feel like because I'm very family oriented, I consider it a huge honor when like a member starts to involve their family into the gym as well, whether it's their partners or like, kids. We just had somebody have their mom join.
Yeah,
Right?
Like the fact that, like I'll introduce you to my friend, but like to my family, that's another level.
yeah,
And I don't take that lightly because, family is really important to me. And, I just know the amount of hoops that people have to go through to meet my family. So like to get that introduction as a trainer, as a coach, I'm like, damn, it must be pretty good.
yeah.
So thank you for entrusting me with the health of your family.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you for being someone we can trust.
yeah. And be honest with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, if you want to be a power couple up in the queer gym too, you know what to do. Or you could be a sassy single too. That works. Actually, some people started sassy singles and then yeah, that happened too at the queer gym. There's been 4 marriages out of the queer gym.
Like
And
with other queer gym members.
uh-huh.
Oh yeah, so you
Amazing.
can meet your other person by joining the queer gym. You know you want to. I'm a
Yeah,
walking guide.
yeah. It's like better than Tinder.
Yeah, exactly.
More benefit too.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for tuning in. If this sounds like a good time to you, you know what to do. Bye. Let me hit record.
You want me to say that?
Yeah.
Okay, so one other benefit as a power couple to us joining the queer gym is that we have a lot more endurance in the bedroom. Mhm. It does. And we're not both like, hold on, I gotta stop because I'm tired. Yeah. Uh-huh. Happy birthday.
There you go. That is a real perk because you need cardio endurance, you need flexibility, mobility.
The flexibility is that's a
All
big
those
one.
frog, what are those frog squats that are
Yeah, the
the
frog
hip raises?
pumps.
Yes, those
Yeah.
those are very helpful.
You know, functional fitness. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, I'm happy y'all can get it on better.